And I can tell some design notes about it if need be.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's start with Excise here. So this is a 1-cost Guardian event. Tactic and Science. Deal 1 direct damage to an investigator location with 2 or more remaining health. Then the chosen investigator may immediately take up to 2 actions, which can only be used to activate abilities printed on treacheries in their threat area or hand. I dig this card.
Yeah, it's a tech card if you've got a lot of double action things, or just a campaign like Circle Undone where a lot of stuff just sits in your threat area.
Yeah, also another one is good for like Curtain Call to just neutralize those hitting cards as well.
Yeah, I think each of those are double actions as well. So 1 damage and 1 action for a net 2 actions to get rid of a card in hand, basically. And enables healing tech because there's still not a lot that supports that. A lot of it is just waiting for damage and horror from the encounter.
So my only thought that I had for this one was that I love tech cards. I think they're really good. But I feel like tech cards should have a little bit kind of like I'm looking at I'm Out of Here, one of the most like stereotypical tech cards that exist in the game, and it has 2 icons on it. So my thought process was either 2 book, but if we think that's too strong, I think 2 brain could be nice for this card because it is then kind of like treachery protection for the scenarios where you don't want to use it on its ability. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'd say so. So you could make it... Honestly, you could probably make it like Brain Wild, so...
Yeah, I'm down for Brain Wild.
But it's pseudo guts.
Yep, I think that's pretty nice because I mean, like you're only going to play this card as tech, right? Like you're not going to like bring this. I mean, maybe if you were playing like someone in your team's playing Calvin Wright, and you can just do it to hurt them and then like get it out. But I think that I think it's a really nice card.
Thanks. And I included the caveat of 2 or more remaining health. Just
you can't kill someone, yeah.
Yeah, because you're trying to help them.
Yeah.
And as funny as it is, just a team kill, I don't think that would be appreciated.
Yeah, probably not. All right. Then we have Laudanum. This is a 3-cost, 4 experience Guardian asset. Commits for a book and a brain. Item Science Illicit. So our good friend Finn can take it, which is pretty cool. And Kate as well. These are both cards that are outside of Kate's like zone. Both this and Excise, which is nice. Uses 3 supplies as an action. Spend 1 supply. Heal up to 3 horror from an investigator location. Then the chosen investigator searches the top X cards of their deck and draws each weakness, where X is 5 times the horror healed. Shuffle that investigator's deck.
So I'm not sure if the cost and the level are appropriate for this, but I figured burst healing was kind of what Yvette wanted to make the most of her stat boost. And this seemed a fair way to do it, especially because Laudanum's like, it has a reputation for giving people like very trippy side effects and addictive properties and all that.
So I like where you started with the 4 and the 3 because it kind of feels like a logical reasoning, right? It's like 4 experience, 3 costs. It's very similar to that kind of space because this can heal 9 horror. And like searching for the weakness is actually an upside, which is really nice.
True, because you can do it when you want, basically.
Yep.
Of course, you have to take each weakness, so that could be... I just realized that if you use this in like Edge of the Earth, you could get like 10 Tekalilis at once.
Let's go! Just numb yourself. All right, this is gonna get a little bit crazy, but I like 9 XP is a lot. I think, what if we make it 2 cost? I think 4 XP and 2 seems right to me.
I'd be comfortable with 2.
I think the 4 XP is good.
Yeah, teamwork with Mandy, let's go. Let's get an extra weakness out of it.
Yeah.
Or search extra.
I like it, though. That's another one. I think 4 XP is a good place to start. I think this one's going to be interesting to see in playtesting. I think there's going to be some discoveries to be made there.
I'm usually hesitant to make the higher XP cards because there's like more risk of going off the rails.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I think all in all, it's at least a solid place to start from.
Yep. All right, now we have a cycle. So we have Ball Peen's Hammer, Jeweler's Loop, and Snuff Box. 3 cost asset for Ball Peen Hammer. Takes up the hand slot. This is a rogue asset. Item, tool, melee, weapon. As an action, exhaust Ball Peen Hammer. Fight. This attack uses your lowest skill and the chosen enemy gets -2 fight. If you succeed and your modified skill value is not 0, this attack deals +2 damage. This is a very interesting card.
You might as well just read all 3 off at once.
Before we talk about them.
Yeah.
Jeweler's Loop. Exhaust it, investigate. This investigation uses your lowest skill and your lowest location gets -2 shroud value. If you succeed and your modified skill value is not 0, discover an additional clue. And then we got Snuff Box. As an action, exhaust it, evade. This evasion uses your lowest skill and the chosen enemy gets -2 evade. If you succeed and your modified skill value is not 0, the evaded enemy does not ready during the next upkeep phase.
So the original intent for this is to kind of reward the all 3 stat line at long last. Because you can use these for the succeed by 0 test or archetype, but you get the most of it if you're actually succeeding by a decent amount.
It's a very interesting space, isn't it?
Yeah. And Rogue, I know they have a lot of room to work with for committing lots of skills. Like Winnie could use any of these and just commit anything you can do better and guarantee that. But for Maxwell being all 3s, and yeah, Jenny now being all 3s, she has some tools to work with there.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where like investigators like Finn and all that probably won't, and like Trish probably won't touch these, right? But the Jennies of the worlds where you can like play Dark Horse to make all your stats 4, and now you're like doing this at 4 versus -2. Like, it's a pretty cool build around. Lola Santiago as well, yes, for sure.
I think he meant Lola Hayes.
Oh, that's what my brain said, but Lola Santiago creeps in there like she always does. No, Lola Hayes for sure, the actress. That's who I was picturing in my head. But yeah, so Santiago, she just finds her way in there. I play her too much.
Well, poor Lola Hayes has been
she's
scraping by for the better part of 8 years, I think.
It's kind of unfortunate that like Lola Hayes is so like it's for sure for me, but the majority of players, I imagine, think of Lola Santiago first when you hear Lola.
Yep, and even Leo versus Leo, you're not sure which one gets top billing.
Yep. Yeah, these ones are very interesting. I think I don't have much thoughts on them until I try them out. These feel like something that I need to actually see in action to get an idea for them. But they seem very fun and good for investigators that don't really have much unique support for them.
Yeah, and there is tool and charm support, which I think you were the one who suggested.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that Wilson and Amina can give them a try.
Yeah, so Amina can play this too, which is kind of hype for Amina. All right, this one's probably my favorite of your batch from this one. So this is Understudy. This is a null cost ally asset. Soaks for 2 and 2. As a reaction, after an ally asset you control leaves play, put Understudy into play from your hand. After Understudy enters play, take an immediate action as if it were your turn. I love it. My only thought is I feel like he should be level 1 just to fit with everyone else that's in this cycle.
Yeah, I can see level 1, especially if he does soak for 2 and 2.
He does, yeah. The 2 and 2 soak's really nice because that's kind of why this guy exists, right? To hold space.
Just that he's ready to jump in, but he doesn't show up until someone else is out of commission.
So the only downside is the 1 and 1. If he's level 1 now, he doesn't get to play with Seneca, which is kind of why we put him at 0, I imagine. So maybe we have to do that instead and make him like soak for 1 and 1.
That's also a good way to do it, yeah.
Yeah, I think we do that instead, because I think it's important that Seneca can play the Understudy, lest we release the expansion and then everyone is like, why can't the theater guy play the theater guy? And we're like, good point.
Yeah, let's not pull a clean sneak on him.
Yep. Yep. I dig them. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm kind of often hesitant to do weird things like this, but every now and again, a little spark worms its way in and it comes up with something weird like this.
Yeah. I have a hard time with the weird stuff too, so I definitely relate there. This one's a little bit fun. It's a little bit weird as well. Bootleg Gin. This is a null cost asset. It's item illicit myriad. Forced when the round begins, if Bootleg Gin is in your hand, attach it to any location without investigators if possible. And then as a reaction, after you successfully investigate the attached location by 2 or more, move Bootleg Gin to the victory display. When earning experience during the resolution of this scenario, if there are 3 copies of Bootleg Gin in the victory display, you earn 1 additional experience, max once per scenario.
So I'm breaking my personal rule about bonus XP, but I feel a little better about it because some of it's getting phased out.
Yeah.
And this is the actual like task to do rather than, oh, you drew the I can't even remember the name right now, the usual mystic one that everyone plays.
Delve Too Deep. Yeah, Delve Too Deep.
Oh, you drew Delve Too Deep? All right, you just get 1 more XP this scenario. Congratulations. This one you got to work for. You've got to tech to draw them all in the same scenario, and then tech to make sure you can investigate those locations.
Yep. I dig it.
And the forced when the round begins, it originally was going to be when you draw it, but I didn't want there to be like any weird interplay with like the start of the scenario and then this is just a dead card for the rest of the scenario.
I get you. This is like a revelation effect, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know that was the case with like some of the dilemmas where if you start with it, it's just like, well, it's just going to live there now.
Yeah. Yeah, if you drew 3 dilemmas in your opening hand, 1 would just stay there.
But this also lets you, like, if you can draw a whole bunch in one turn, you can potentially attach several of them to the same location and get more out of
just
one
hoover them all up at once.
I may have to play with the max once per scenario though, because as written, you can only do that with 1 bootleg gin total. I'm just trying to limit.
I see. Yeah.
So that might need to be removed, but at the same time, I don't want people to go like, well, each one of these says you get a bonus experience, so 3 bonus experience. No, that's not the intention.
I get you. If there are 3 copies in the view, you earn 0.33 experience.
I think you can just change that to like max 1 experience per scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, this one would be fun to playtest as well.
And this was designed with Maxwell in mind, not just because it's booze, but because
it fits with his ability.
You want to be succeeding by 2, yeah.
Yep. All right, we have another pair of cards here, so I'll read them both. Morbid Fascination. It's a secret skill. Commits for a wild. When you commit Morbid Fascination, you may take up to 2 horror for each horror taken. It gains Brain, Book, Wild. And then we have Resigned to Fate, which is damage, but it's Book, Foot, Wild. And they're both desperate. I love these. My only thought is there any way we could make it work Spirit so Calvin can play both of these as well?
I suppose we can make them Spirit and Desperate.
Like, does Spirit work for Morbid Fascination's flavor? That's the thing as well.
Not really. It's more of a...
Yeah, because he can already play Resigned to Fate, and that's very good for him, but I feel like he would love playing both of these cards.
He might just have to versatile for it because it is a level 0.
Yeah. I feel like I don't want to do Kelvin dirty, though. It's kind of like his, it keeps happening to Kelvin.
I know, but... yeah, we'd have to, like, rework it entirely to be a Spirit thing rather than a Seeker thing.
I mean, could we just change... is there a way, like, another word other than, like, fascination that, like, implies spirit that we could work with as well?
Inspiration, maybe?
I think that works. Morbid inspiration.
Let's see if that That fits on the card nicely because I kind of like how it's laid out now. Let's go.
All right.
Damn, we can slap spirit on both of these. And I guess now that they are spirit, Hank can also kill himself with these.
That is actually pretty sick. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Could it be specialist or neutral? I mean, these actually would work as neutral cards, but I like it as the Seeker. I think the flavor works better. But these are actually, I think, 2 cards that could work in neutral. Sweet. All right, then we got Moses Rollins, a 4-cost, 1 experience survivor ally. He's the varsity coach. He soaks for 3 and 1, and you get +1 fist. And then as a reaction, if you fail a skill test, exhaust Moses Rollins, move to a connecting location. So I love this guy because that's just an ability that's really nice for survivors, but it's very nice for Steve. Or Moose, rather, yeah, for his nickname.
Oh, he's both.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a football player, it definitely gives you the movement while engaged with things.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's just a solid combat ally.
Yep, for sure. Even like just like worst case, failing a treachery and then moving, like that's not bad.
Yeah, and a good alternative to Jessica Hyde if you're like, I want a survivor combat ally, but I don't just want the infinite soak again.
Yep. I'm curious because I think the 4 is a good spot for him because that's where Beat Cop is. But then you look at Jessica Hyde, and she only costs 3, and it's kind of crazy what they did with the survivor experienced allies, huh?
A little bit, yeah. She's definitely a lot of value, especially at level 1.
Yep.
But he's not balanced around her. He's balanced around what we think should be fair.
Can you move again with track shoes? Yep, it's true. You can move again with track shoes.
Yeah, just take off in a dead sprint during the Mythos phase.
Yeah. All right. That is this batch of cards, and I think they're pretty sweet. And there's some good stuff we can add into the stuff here. But I think, as we were talking before, I think what we should try to do is we should try to make an aim for what we're gonna do for our card count for this, because then we can start like working towards that. So I guess a good place to start is like look at one of the recent expansions.
I think most of those are sitting at about 250.
Yeah, and then see like how many they have in those.
A lot of that is assuming multiple copies of cards too, though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because also like Myriad changes things as well. Bonded changed things as well.
Yeah, the Bootleg Gin is Myriad in there.
So yeah, there's 2 blessed. I'm just looking at Hemlock Vale. So there's the 2 blessed blades. Just to get an idea. 2 katanas. So we're at 6, 8, 10. Evanescent Ascension is a weird one. Where that is going to be, you get 2 Miracle Wishes and 1 of those.
Yeah.
Eyes of Lugia, you get 3 cards as well. Okay, so then that is just like the Evanescent Ascension and the Eyes of Lugia, they add up to being 6 in total. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we're at 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36. So it's 40 cards.
Per class?
Yeah. And then for their neutrals, it's probably, so then 40, give me my calculator up here. So 40 times, that's 200
for 5 classes.
Yeah.
A smattering of neutrals.
Yeah, and then they have their allies, as the investigators as well.
Yeah, and each one of those is, depending, like 3 to 6 cards.
Okay. Well, why don't we do aim for 40 cards in each class.
That seems like a nice round number to work for.
And then we can try to aim to hit the 255 with our, including our investigator cards and like our, well, we can do some neutrals. But I also want to propose, instead of neutrals, and this is something that I only propose because I would love for them to do this with the actual expansion, but make a specialist card that works with each of our investigators.
All right.
Because I think if they were going to add specialist cards, that would be the way to do it. You know, where it's like they playable with the investigator in the box, but now everyone can be like, oh, here's my card that works with this past investigator as well.
Yeah, we can definitely do some specialist cards. Does Strange Eons have the template?
No, it doesn't have that yet. That was the... I remember that was the thing we talked about previously when people asked. And we also were talking about if we could give Moose another trait as well. Because we were looking at one of the Drifter, Hunter, or Wayfarer for Bound for the Horizon. Because we were both like, that would be nice with him.
Yeah.
It does have Specialist Astute?
Maybe there was an update.
Let's find out. I'll just make a card and let's see.
I mean, you may have to go up into the options and manually update.
Where is that? Updates? Check for updates. A new version is available. All right, I'm going to just hide and let's do this.
I probably have to do that too.
Oh, I just have to download it. Okay. It says the new one is from 2024.
It may have been a bit.
But that wouldn't have a specialist for that one, right?
I doubt it because the player cards for Drowned City released in February, was it?
Yeah, 2025, so...
I don't know, maybe there's like a test branch that Astute's under.
Yeah. And I'll boot it up and I can do some poking. Yeah, dude, it's not under the class options for me. What do you have? What's your magic? What's your magic, Astute? Because I also looked there's no update to the Arkham plugin either. I think it's somewhere from the Mythos Busters Discord. No. Alright, well, we won't worry about that right now. We have to design all the other cards first. Okay. So, what we should also do... I'm going to open up all our Guardian cards. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, should we like look into what was missing from the kits during our first tests? Like, if we had an okay option, but we're looking for something better.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to make a list of our cards, and we can be like we can kind of like rate what we feel about them and how much we think they like we could do we can flag them for like need testing. We can flag them for like we like this one's a little bit like out to lunch still, and then like that kind of thing I can be good to have as well.
Yeah. I think we're also pretty asset heavy right now, so we may have to dip into events more.
Because there's always like a little bit more assets, right? Like it skews slightly. It's like 5-4-1, right? Usually.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's easy to hit though, but yeah. Assets are pretty sick.
Assets do have tons of flavor.
Okay. Let me make a beautiful spreadsheet. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be really rough right now. Okay, let's start with our assets. Can I put these in order? I can. Handy's an asset. Karamot's an asset. Oh yeah, we also need to figure out the XP. Man, it's tough to... There's a lot of pieces to this puzzle, huh?
Yeah, it may be worth a spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's what I'm currently cooking up a little version right now. Okay, let's go back to Hemlock as our baseline. So let's just look at level 0.
It's kind of funny that Hemlock is kind of the baseline for these packs, because they started with Edge of the Earth, but that was like the multi-class madness.
Yep.
And then Scarlet Keys had 6 investigators and kind of a mishmash of everything.
Yep. Yep.
Whereas Hemlock Vale was kind of the most focused one.
Yeah, and then also like the customizable cards kind of screw up the economy of the box too, like the budget. It's strange, but it is. Hemlock is like the first like normal one. Okay, so they have 5. We'd obviously for people watching at home, we don't need to follow these like 1-to-1, but this is just like a baseline to work with. So they have 5 level 0 assets and 5 level 0 events. So we want to probably do 6 and 4 or 5 and 5 is what I'm thinking.
And what's our current count for level 0?
For assets, we have 4. And then for events, we have 2. At level 0. This is all level 0.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to do 5 and 5. We can just start there. I think that's a good place to start. And then they have 1 skill. So we can just see how this looks after that. So that's what, 11 level 0 cards.
Which leads to 22 of the 40 card budget for the class.
Okay. And then at level 1 to 5, they have 3 assets, 4 events, and 1 skill. And both of these cards, they have 1 where they're 3 of, because they have a bonded card for each of them.
Right.
So we can have like one more card, assuming we don't have any myriad or limit one or that kind of thing here.
Right. Or when we get into the rogue, exceptional.
Yeah, exactly, right. Okay, so Grace Under Fire. I really like this one because this was one of the things that I was like, I'm missing this when I was playing Yvette.
Yeah, it was like letting her still do her thing while being a fighter.
Yeah.
Because I guess that does set her apart from both Vincent and Carolyn. Because while they can fight, especially Vincent, that's not really what they're primarily doing.
Yeah, she's kind of like a weird support, but she can also get into the dealing the damage or doing other things. She probably uses katana just fine as well.
I believe so.
Okay. So, do we want to give this one like I guess, like, so we should figure out our rating. I don't think we should do, like, how good the card is, but just, like, how confident we are in this card making it into our set, you know?
Honestly, let's do, like, just stoplight, green, yellow, red. I think
Sure.
this is a green.
All right, green for me. I'm with you on that. Give me the green. Okay, next up we got Karamat. So this one works for Doom, for Delphine. In theory, it could also work for Yvette, but she doesn't really have the pieces for that yet.
Yeah.
But what is her... She's a Seeker Survivor? Guardian Seeker Survivor?
Yeah, she has Seeker Survivor subclass.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I don't think this is really the perfect one for Yvette, but it's a good splash card for
Delphine.
Delphine, and because it's a spell, Marie can use it too.
Yeah. I mean, we did talk about also getting a Doom card in Guardian and Survivor at level 0, so maybe that can change that as well.
Yeah, especially if we haven't used many events yet.
Yeah. Do we want to call this one a yellow for the time being?
I think yellow is appropriate.
Okay. All right, the Webley Tranquilizer Gun. So this thing is a 3 cost, use 3 ammo. As an action, spend 1 ammo fight. You get +1 fist with attack. If this test is successful, the attacked enemy gets -1 fight and -1 evade until the end of the phase. If you succeed by exactly 2, the attacked enemy gets -2 fight and -2 evade instead.
I like it as a support gun. I'm not 100% on it. Like it's definitely at least a yellow, but I'm not sure if it's a green.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. We'll go yellow for that. Okay. Handy. 0 cost, uses 3 supplies, exhaust Handy and spend 1 supply. Choose an asset you control. You get +X skill value for the skill test, where X is the number of unique skill icons on the chosen asset.
I think we want this one just as like a opposite well prepared. So
yeah, I think this is a green for me. What do you think?
Yeah, I think green as well.
All right, well, we got 2 greens. That's not bad. All right, we won't worry about Laudanum yet. Let's focus on level 0. I mean, we've been doing that already, but we can get like our level 0 kind of rounded out for this.
Yeah, see what, like, I think so far the 2 greens we have are slotless, so it'd be good to include some slotted ones.
Yeah. Excise. We just talked about this one. I think this one's an easy green for me.
Yeah, it's a good tech card in Guardian.
Yep.
And plays well with Yvette, just enabling her to heal things too.
Yep. Yeah, because you can deal it to someone else and then heal them and be like, here you go, you have more stats. Heal someone, then hurt someone, so like they can like then do the test on it with a little bit of a boost. Are you going to do XP versions of level 0 cards?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah, it's a chance. I think Stare Down is another green for me. I really like this card.
Yeah, it's also a good tech card because you can just intimidate the hell out of a Weasley little acolyte.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have time for you right now.
And I
But
mean,
also,
it also this is like potentially seeds. Oh, I love the zoom in on his face. I like it. It's kind of planting the seeds for Karamot to potentially be able to be functional, right?
true, because using them together lets you manage the Doom that you're playing with.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a question, because we both like well, the tranquilizer gun is a yellow. Do we maybe want to envision a hand slot weapon that uses Doom in the Guardian class?
That feels more like a spell thing, but at the same time, I guess flavor-wise, what would you be looking for?
Excise feels really good, probably worth some XP. One damage, it probably doesn't matter for 2 free actions. But the actions are limited in scope, right?
Yeah,
You only
because
can use it
they're
to
only
clear
actions that you can spend getting rid of.
treacheries.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a cursed sword. I mean, there might be what if there's like there's someone in the mythos that we could do that's benevolent, but as always in the mythos, the benevolence comes with a little bit of like because like Hypnos and like Nodens, right?
Yeah.
They're like it's still using dark powers, but like it's for a noble reason, right? We could do something like that.
Okay, I just had a weird thought that
Okay.
it's going to be eating Seeker's lunch a bit.
I'm happy that I mean they've been eating everyone else's lunch, so why not eat their lunch a bit?
We go researched, but it's a sword that you don't know what it is, and the upgrade versions are various famous swords from around the world.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay.
So it's
A
a research card
research card
outside
from
of,
the for the Guardian class. I'm here for it.
because you could do it in like Roland, because he has Seeker access as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because the reason why I'm also thinking the thought process behind a Guardian weapon that uses Doom is because then Delphine can obviously use it as her splash, but it's like one that other Guardians would be able to use with their higher fist value as well, potentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely something to think about there.
We also could throw an event down as well. I'd also like to think of a skill, a level 0 skill in the Guardian class.
Yeah, the only skills we have so far are, well, the two I made, and I think we made one earlier together.
I don't know if we did. No, I don't think we've... Good Hustle is an event, I think. Yeah, and then Tackle is an event. I don't think we actually have a skill.
Oh, well,
Let's try to do a Guardian skill. Okay. So we have Yvette using skills. She kind of has skills in her splash. So maybe what we should aim for this cycle, Beard, is that the skills benefit the splash of investigators, you know?
Yeah, because, yeah, exactly what you said. The Yvette's skills are the ones that aren't in her class.
Yeah, so I think that would be interesting. So we have Delphine and Maxwell?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right, let me just pull these puppies up. Can also close some of these Guardian ones. All right. We should start with art for this one, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not getting any sparks immediately just from thinking mechanics alone.
Yeah.
Let me browse through the files here.
Again, a level 0 skill. I have something that we could kind of do.
Shoot.
I'm just going to call it restock. Let's just do that. I was just thinking of what both of these investigators might want. Trait, don't know right now. Is successful. Return that. So the reason why I was thinking this was that Maxwell, like, he wants to empty stuff out, but he can get the uses from it. And Delphine would want to maybe return things with Doom on them in a pinch.
All right, I could see that, but... Yeah, I'm just wondering if this is best in Guardian or something else.
I mean, I feel like Guardian has a thing for it with the 32 Colt, right? Because you can return that to your hand.
That is true.
It's kind of the space that I had for it. Do they have other return to your hands? Like, where are other, chat, what are other return to hand effects? Let's search up game text return. Yeah, fake credentials can return to your hand. So that's rogue. Magnifying glass. Baseball bat. Survivor has it for skills. Well maintained. Yeah, this actually does feel Guardian. Yeah, well maintained. Good call.
All right, I think I'm on board.
I think it needs a better name than restock, but like that could be.
I'm wondering if this should be a skill or an event, though.
I mean, what's the difference between a skill and an event, right? Skill icons versus,
well,
like...
With a skill, you figure it's something that's happening during an action versus its own action.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of a Guardian resourceful, right?
A little bit, yeah. Either way, this might be the art to use.
Oh, yeah.
It's always so hard to find useful gun art. It's like so many of it is just gun lying on a table because someone modeled it.
Yep. 100%. Okay, so then I guess the question is there a way that we can, do we want to make this an event, or is there a way that we can make it fit in that incidental happening in the moment skill thing, right?
Yeah. Maybe something like a contingency plan.
Yeah, I dig that. I'm also just gonna, I think I want to change the wording slightly as well. Okay.
Something like forward momentum or something like that. I don't know. I feel like the name's not all the way there yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah. Yoink, call it yoink. Okay, I kind of want to go for like a an unrelenting style wording.
I think you can just say chosen asset, but yeah.
Perfect. I just think that feels
Yeah, that does seem more like eliminating edge cases ahead of time.
yep. I'd kind of love to see an upgraded version where if it's successful, return the chosen asset to your hand, or like add 3 supplies to it, or add 3 like uses to it. But
Or like return to your hand and then you may immediately play that asset.
Yeah. Choose an item as you control. The skill test also return the chosen asset to your hand. I mean, I like it because I think it works really well with Delphine, right? Like for the Doom bounce, having like
It does, yeah.
yeah, backups to that is exciting and interesting.
Does it have to be an item asset then?
I like it for item because then it feels more Guardian to me, right? I feel like the item restriction makes it more Guardian.
Okay.
But, I mean, I think that might just because Guardian is the class of restrictions as opposed to every other class, right? I wouldn't be opposed to taking it off. I could be convinced pretty easily.
That's just something to consider now. I'm still mulling over the name, sorry.
No, it's all good. Yeah. Take your time.
Just because the contingency plan does sound like an event still rather than a skill. Because usually the skills are like active words.
Yeah.
Purple Man flies on to some line of thinking that I think is helpful.
I like the word opportune as a place to start as well, you know? Like,
Like, I think maybe the word conservative works, but not in the political sense, in like
yep.
the actual, like, you're conserving things sense.
Yeah, I like it. And this would be like a tactic, right? A tactic skill. Could also be, I don't think it can't be innate. We cannot give this to Silas, native. Now Silas has to take other things for it. I'll tell you right now. You give the unrelenting wording to Silas and he goes crazy.
Let's see. I know there's a few rare cases where other traits slip in, because like there's a couple spirit skills, but this isn't a spirit one. I'm just
Yeah.
about to look things up here.
I mean, we probably need like one basic skill word, right?
Probably like practiced.
I don't think this being practiced makes perfect goals a bad thing.
Let's see, what else would it be?
I think practice is a good place to start, but let me know if you see something else.
There's a couple words, but they don't appear on level 0 cards. Like expert and developed.
Yeah.
I think practice.
Developed? Oh no, that is an experienced one. You're right. I was like, oh no, that's I'm looking at all of them. Yeah.
So either practiced on its own or practice tactic. Either one works.
Yeah, tactic doesn't really add too much, does it?
Yeah, because Mark can already take it as a guardian card anyway.
Yep. I think just practice is fine. Okay. I'm not gonna give us a light to this yet, just because I like to wait, you know, give it some time to sit.
Yeah, I hear you.
This is not a bad skill, though. I like the icons, too. I don't like being able to use it to, like, you shoot a guy and then, like, bring it back to your hand. It feels more like a willpower intellect thing.
Yeah, because you're actually, like, planning and using strategy.
Yeah. Okay, should we make an event?
Yes, let's.
Because we only got 2 of those right now. I'm also going to just start... make a Guardian level 0 and a Guardian XP. Just to make it a little bit easier to make sense of it all. Okay. Save this. So the only one we have is Laudanum. That's our only XP card. Oh no.
At least the XP cards for these sets will be a bit more focused, because only one person in the set will be able to take them either way.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, that is kind of why like the level 0 ones have been why we've been falling on, because it's so easy to be like, oh, this person wants a support card, right?
Yeah, just stuff out of class.
Okay, so right now we have Grace Under Fire, Handy, Excise, and Stare Down. But we don't really have a, like, maybe a healing event could be good for Yvette.
Yeah, especially if the Laudanum is horror focused. Something that heals damage would be nice.
Yeah. Okay. Give me an event. All right, how do we make, let's make an interesting healing card.
This might be something to work with here, just this art. Though we could save him if we want to make a Guardian ally.
That would be, he would be a cool Guardian ally.
He can be one of the XP cards.
Yeah, but I feel like the Guardian out, like we need to go like a more military focus. So I think this would be fine as a an event as well.
Okay. Just something like
Oopsie.
traditional remedy or something like that.
Okay.
What if it's... No, that wouldn't work well with her. Well, actually... What if it's something kind of like... Perseverance or Delay the Inevitable, where you put it into their play area, and then at like the end of the next Mythos phase, it heals them automatically.
Kind of like that one Mystic thing we made, where like it's a delay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that would be a good way to delay...
Yeah, with her ability?
Her healing bonus until the start of the round, where you actually want to use it.
We could also have it be dripped. I really like that. Let me just pull out... let's just find it, because we had good wording for that one. Is it this one? Oh no, the Mystic, it made it into this, the Mystic card. Sanguimancy. It's on our short list. I don't know if it's going to make the final cut, but...
Yeah.
I just want to...
So for Yvette's ability, we want to do at the start of the investigation phase instead of the end of the Mythos phase.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would kick in and then immediately end the benefit.
And even if there was delay, you would still count as healing because it's your card effect, right?
Yes.
Alright. So what if it was like... Investigator at location... I kind of just want to like copy this, where it's like it's like 1 heal now, 1 heal later. So you basically get like +1 to your stats for 2 rounds, you know?
Yeah. Can I see the wording on her ability again? It's limit once per each investigator per round. So you could make that as like this. These are the 2 rounds worth of buffs for you. Yes,
yeah. And it's like, it's just like healing 2 is a pretty alright rate for Guardian at 0, right? We see that in like all the things that you mentioned. So it's just like the same sort of thing, but it's just spread out over 2 turns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Investigation phase. Damn it. How would I word this?
Just heal 1 damage from the attached investigator and discard.
I love this. I think this is really cool.
Yeah, I'm liking this. I think we can give it the... We can give it, like, science and spirit.
Yep. Do you know who also really likes this card? Vincent Lee.
He does. And so does Kelvin.
Yep.
Icons. Maybe a book icon?
I was thinking Brain, but I'm down for book.
Well, we could give this one Brain book.
Just give it the old Guardian special. And then probably 2 cost, right? That's where all these other things kind of live.
Yeah, 2 cost, because that's like on par with First Aid.
Yeah. I love it. I think that's a great card. Thank you,
Right.
Sanguimancy, for being the gift that keeps on giving. I just think the double delayed effects are really cool. It's like kind of having like a stutter to your ability, right?
Yeah.
What is it's like there's an actual mechanic in that. It's called like rebound or something in Magic the Gathering, where your cards play twice. But it's like
Haven't
2
played as
smaller
much
effects. They
MTG.
work well.
Yeah, it's good. Also, like, if you're expecting damage at the end of the round and don't want to spend time healing it next round.
Yep. I think I don't know about you. I know I said I wanted to wait, but I feel like this might already be worth a green light.
I think so, just because it's so keyed into Vet's ability.
Yep. All right, we probably want something that works for... All right, so we have Handy for Maxwell. I don't think he needs another thing, right?
Yeah, not as far as, like, assets go.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's got the suite of rogue assets, too, that we made for him, so... We don't need to design any Mystic or Guardian stuff with him in mind for assets.
Yeah, because he also has Handy, which works well for him, so... He has everything he needs there. Do we want to try to go back to doing something Doom-related that Delphine can use?
I think Karamat is good for her, and we can put a Doom thing in Survivor.
Yeah. But the only thing is because Karamat's still a yellow, because there's not really something that works with it within the Guardian thing for that bottom half, right?
Yeah.
Do we maybe want something? Like, my thought process was, my gut told me, as I said earlier, there was like the weapon we could do, or alternatively, some sort of like I take the damage for you effect, but like it's like you're getting a blessing from one of the guys again, but there's some doom associated with it. Could be another way to go. Because I really like Karma, but I think for it to really fit, we need something in Guardian Doom, whether it be in 0 or like a higher XP type thing. And I still like your idea of the blades.
Yeah, we can keep that in mind still.
Yeah.
If we do a higher level thing for Doom, then Delphine wouldn't have access to it.
Yes, that's the thing as well. Because, I mean, you had, your Hellboy was Guardian Doom focused, right? But he was also Mystic, right?
Yeah, he had a little bit of Mystic Splash, but not much.
I guess the flavor is, what is... I get like it's the question of that. What can be like the flavor for Doom working in the Guardian class?
Maybe almost like bearing some burden, taking on that yourself, and that's like putting Doom on yourself for some effect. Even like moving a Doom from something onto you.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I was gonna say how this isn't a level 0 effect, but how How could the players leverage moving a Doom from the agenda to an investigator?
That'd be something. Because like you could still get rid of it with like Moonlight Ritual, I think.
Yep. But that's not a level 0 effect for sure.
Right.
All right, let's this idea of this sword that can upgrade into various things. If it was a doomed sword, quote unquote, would that flavor work in the Guardian class, or would it work in a different class? Like, would another class work better for like a fabled doomed sword?
Let me look up something real quick.
Sure. Might need an innate way to get rid of the doom on the sword of its guardian. I agree. Without just being ceremonial sickle, right? Just make a better sickle, but it's two-handed.
Okay, let me see something here. What about a spear instead?
I love spears.
It's like we already have the Holy Lance at level 4.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at some historical ones that could be from mythology.
Spears are so cool. Do spear. All right. Astute, just for you, we're going to do the spear. Not for any other reason. not that Beard and I already said spears are cool. But we're doing it just for you, baby. Gay bulk time, baby. Astute, you doing okay?
Yeah, that was the first one I was thinking of, actually. Now, there's a few ones in history that we can use.
Nice.
So let's start making the level 0 version and see what comes of it.
Sure.
Two-handed?
I think so. Spears are two-handed generally, so... Maybe, like, one of them could upgrade into one-handed, but I think generally two-handed.
That would be a really fun upgrade.
Okay, so there's an easy way that we can upgrade this, which is just you trap an essence of the things you kill, right?
How do you mean? Sorry?
So, like, you kill an enemy, put a resource on this. When there's X resources on it, it translates, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the easy thing. Just, like, take the essence from your enemies. Man, why haven't they made research cards in other classes? It's already so flavorful.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they figure like, well, this is just a Seeker thing, and we can't take their things, while Seeker's gradually grabbing all of everybody else's pies, like like pre-World War II Germany.
I like the implication of that to what the Seeker class is. All right, I'm gonna put weapon on this for sure. Okay.
Seekers, do you really need Czechoslovakia? Yes, we need it.
We need it all.
And Poland and Belgium.
Fatality.
Hey, Zombie Taxman, thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. 2 months of the Golden Table. Thank you for your support. Hope you're having a great Friday. Okay.
And we can pull from a bunch of different cultures. Like, you just know it's a famous spear, and then you could find out it's one from Celtic mythology, or if it's one from Japanese mythology, or something like that.
Yep. Why have I suddenly forgot how any of this game is worded?
It all blends together.
We also have to make the level 0 version, like, not great, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, Monomugu, that sounds so hype. A spear, you attack a location. If you succeed, it gets planted down. It does a passive effect. Oh my god, that's so cool.
Well, we got to do that.
I feel like there's so many ways we could take this upgrade.
Yeah, it's kind of like Pitchfork.
Yeah.
But question is, do we do this? Because I don't think we'll have room on the card for Doom stuff if we do.
That's the thing, right? But I guess if it's gonna upgrade, we kind of really don't want Doom, do we? I think we just want this to be our weapon.
Yeah, let's save the Doom for another card. Cause...
Yeah, I think the Doom could be an event. I think the event works for a Doom.
Okay.
Yeah, and in all fairness to that as well, Marinda, the planting the thing does feel more mystic. But maybe this could upgrade into a mystic. Maybe this could upgrade into a mystic. Maybe there could be a mystic spear that Delphine could play. There's no rules here. We could do whatever we want, Beard.
Yeah, we can have like 2 upgrades as Guardian and 1 as Mystic. That'd be pretty weird.
That would be... We can do that. That's in the power of custom content creators. Free will is insane. I think we should do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go. All right, but we have to find out how to translate this without this just being just a very good level 0 weapon.
Let's see.
But I guess we could look at the survivor stuff as kind of a baseline for where the rate should be, right? Like, we can look at Sledgehammer 0 as a good place to start, right?
Yeah. Maybe the attack the location one should be one of the upgrade options, just so we're saving.
Yes, no, definitely. Yeah, no, I agree on that. All right. I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna start just to once again to get words on the page because I think that's a good thing to do. I'm just gonna go off Sledgehammer a little bit here.
Sure.
And then I also want to look at this for a second. I'm just putting this on here. It might be too strong, but the flavor of a spear is always range, right? So I'm just putting that on there for now, just to start.
Yeah.
But that's all just words on the card right now. None of this is set in stone. We tried Maxwell and Knight of the Zealot, and we loved it. Oh, wow, okay. Any thoughts on Maxwell? Because you're the first person that's not us that's said they've played it. Did you feel like there was anything missing from the kit? Because that's another good question to have us ask as well. The signature should cost 0. Interesting. I could see that being the case for sure. Since resources are so scarce. I have a question then. What if how do you think it would be? This is also to you too, Beard, because the resources are so scarce. What if instead of drawing a card, this was like gain 2 resources, or even like what if it was an upkeep phase? 0 cost fast, but it's an upkeep. Draw 1 card and gain 1 resource.
I'd be okay with the resources, yeah. It is very flavorful. It's Canadian whiskey.
Yeah, let's do gain 2 resources. Let's see how that one feels, because I do think there's a good card draw in Rogue. So I don't think having just more resources means he can spend what would be economy on some other things as well, because he'll have 2 of these in his deck.
Yeah.
All right, back to spear time, baby. Why do you have 4 skill icons rather than 1 wild here?
I think it was left over from previous designs.
Yeah, it was a rule of cool was a big reason. Rule of cool. And then we changed it to actually have some synergy with a card that we're printing in this set. But yeah, it's mostly rule of cool. Speaking of rule of cool, spear time, baby.
So do we want the -1? Because, let's see.
It could be like this as well. Oopsie. 1 second. I just want to Control X this so I can... Why is my vertical spacer seem so small for this one?
I don't know. Maybe you got something else that's like an open bracket somewhere.
So you're thinking not the -1 fist?
Yeah, I think just if we make this like a 4-cost weapon and it's got 2 hands anyway, then
Yeah.
reliable +1 damage, ignore retaliate.
Okay, I'm down. All right, how do we figure out what this spear is? Just a large vertical spacer, just because I feel like it's... Like, yeah, there's like the stake the soul of the enemy is the easy thing.
Let's see. This is going to be designed somewhat with Yvette in mind, right?
I mean, I guess, yeah, probably, because we do want her to, like, play the upper versions of it.
Yeah, in that case, this is a terrible weapon for her.
Yeah, because she doesn't get the bonus.
Maybe it's more like the Winchester, where it's +2 combat but no damage boost.
That does seem like no one would play it outside of Yvette, though. Even I think no one would play it with Yvette.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, let's design it, because the thing about when I played Yvette is that she was actually really good at doing what she needed to do because of that stat boost, right?
True. Maybe it's looking for a big succeed buy because it doesn't give the bonus to attack. But then again, then you'd only really use it in people like Mark who have high fist.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, the soul steal is fine if we can't think of anything else. Like, that's, like, the easy place to start.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like,
I'm just going to put this in once again, just to have word on the cards, but we can adjust as is. It's like looking at a blank page is one of the worst things you can do for your creativity, so just write something down.
additional cost to add foot to the attack is interesting.
I do like that.
But then it would be 2 actions for 2 damage, and we're in Kukri land.
Yep. Yeah, and you compare it to Sledgehammer, which is like 2 actions for 3 damage. Which is really good in a pinch, let me tell you, especially when your other option's a Kukri, which I just experienced last Wednesday.
I think it's going to have to get scrunched no matter what we do. It's just...
Yeah. Just all the text.
Yeah, it's just the price of anything researched. Maybe we can just flat out use this attack uses agility instead of combat.
Would Delphine play it?
No, she has horrible feet.
Yeah, her feet are low, low, low. Yeah, no, that's the intention, is to eat into the researched pie. That is the intent here.
I mean, we could use will, but I'm not sure that makes sense with the spear. Like this attack uses will instead of
Yeah.
combat. So it would make it useful for the both of them.
Yep.
Though honestly, not really, because Delphine has higher fist than Will.
I'm just thinking. I got something. I've got something cooking. Just for wording,
I
not for
guess,
the not the damage, the attack problem. I'm because you and I are kind of working on different things right now, and I think
Yeah.
that's good.
I guess you may use will instead of combat. That's a pretty versatile for level 0, but I don't think any guardian has higher will than combat, other than
Yeah.
like Carolyn.
No, oh yeah, just Carolyn. Deal +1 damage to the attack and the Italian keyword.
So let me look that up. And Carolyn's only got one more, 3 to 2. Person's got all 2s. Daniela's got less. Leo's got equal. Arian's got less. Mark's got less. Nacho's got less. Roland's got less. Sister Mary's got one more. Hype.
Hype.
Yeah, I think the only people that come out ahead from that are Carolyn and Sister Mary, so I think that'd be fine saying you may use will instead.
Notably, I was able to crunch this a bit as well. Max once per game. Max once per.
So defeat 6 enemies?
Yeah, the numbers aren't here to.
Okay.
They're not nothing set in stone for that, but
All
it
right,
is
so,
a difference there.
yeah, I do believe that. It's an improvement there for the ability. Yeah, try just you may use will instead of combat for this attack, and it deals +1 damage.
Oh no.
Perfect. So maybe more like four more damage.
Yeah, probably.
And you should probably give it the subtitle unidentified, just so you can get the benefit from that seeker permanent.
Use attack and it deals +1 damage.
Weapon, melee, relic.
Yep, seems good. Oh, item as well.
Yes. How could we forget?
Is there an order that these are in?
I don't know. Like sometimes it's alphabetical and sometimes it's not. Like
The
item
answer
always
is
seems to be
the
the first
answer is
one.
sometimes. So, Blessed Blade is item, weapon, melee, blessed. So this works.
There's like a level of importance.
I think we actually do need to write max once per campaign for this one because it's a forced effect.
Yeah.
I guess you could make it like a free thing and then just go like this.
Yeah.
I mean, we could also, if we want to kind of nerf it a little bit, it also could be an action. So you actually have to take the time to do it.
Yeah, I think you can find one action to spare.
I think I also like that because it kind of makes it different than the Seeker ones. Like, you actually have to take the time to, like, hey, I figured this out, guys, and everyone's like, we're so proud of you.
You did it. You used your brain.
And it also, I think, I also like that it doesn't give a reward like the Seeker one.
Right, because being a functional weapon is also its reward.
Now, here's the question. Can you, what's a better thing I can write that empowered the spear so we don't have this line break right there? A smaller word at the start. Learned the spear's origin. I like that.
Yeah, because that is what you're doing. You're finding out where it's from.
Yep.
And let me find some spear art. Why does this keep happening? That one's great, but it's being held by a wolf person.
Okay. I also feel like I'm also going to just place one. I'll change these to horror because they generally use horror to mark these things.
They do.
And I kind of want to make this cost 5, chat. What do you think, Beard?
I think 4 is fine because it's still taking up 2 hands.
The only thing is I'm looking at compared to Runic Axe, and Runic Axe has limited uses for its damage, and this, I mean, you do get the +1. I guess, yeah, we'll leave it 4 until testing. 4 until testing and see how it feels at 0.
Like in most cases, it's not giving you any really combat boost. It's just doing the consistent +1 damage. But
yeah, the only thing is, like, I see the world where I play this in, like, Mark Harrigan, and I put down a B-Cop, and I just attack at 6 and kill everything in the first scenario. But I'll trust. No, that is true, but it's just like, this is also like a... It's just going to get better from here. It's like my concern with that.
That's a fair concern.
But no, I'll trust. I'll trust.
Icons?
Colt. Yeah, icons. Well, we go, it's easy. It's a Guardian card, so you get 2 different icons, and it's the tests on the card itself.
How about that?
The card just designs itself.
We're just there for the ride.
I also feel like instead of... I think that we should, like, embrace the flavor of these ones as we upgrade them too. Have them be, like, different, like, weapon paths to take.
Yeah.
I prefer learn the spear's purpose over origin. I think that's pretty fair. But I mean, it is still unfortunately gonna have the researched keyword on it at the end. So I think origin might be better because of that. If it was a different keyword we were using, but because we're still gonna use researched, I think maybe origin is better because that's kind of what we're still doing.
Yeah.
But I think you're 100% right. But I think because we're still locked into that original keyword.
That's a good spear, but the lady holding it is almost completely naked, so no.
I'll Photoshop a dress on her.
Yeah, she's
a
like
non-outfit, yeah, just like this. Okay.
Problem is, a lot of these are just like 3D modelers. Here's my spear on a gray void. I guess we can start working on the upgraded ones while I'm searching for art, because it'll be more or less the same for all of them.
Yeah. No, that's why I was looking at Dice Gods. That's why my gut was telling me 5 for this, because I feel like 5's a pretty big upfront cost for it. Because it is pretty good. It is just a 32 Colt, which people don't play. I think that's another thing too, right? Which I think why it's pretty fair. For the people who are saying like that, because no one plays the 32 Colt, but this is a melee 32 Colt, which changes things, but it takes up both hand slots. That's why I'm gonna trust 4, but like that is the reason why my gut was saying 5. Because I feel like 5 is a pretty big investment. 4 is also a very big investment, though.
Yeah, you usually need to have some kind of a plan for that.
Yeah, because there is the no punch boost is relevant. I think it's like, unfortunately, like most melee weapons, like as you said, with you can do that with any weapon with Mark Harrigan. It is going to fall into that kind of zone where like Zoe Samaras is going to have a harder time than Mark Harrigan, right? But I think, yeah, I believe 4 is a good place to start for testing. I don't think you should balance weapons around Mark. I agree, but the problem is we have a Mark Harrigan in our box that can play this. She has 5 fist, right? So it's like less Mark Harrigan, but I'm thinking even here with Delphine, she can use this. And then she can get some Doom on it, and she can start attacking for 3 damage a turn, which seems pretty good. So like I'm using Mark Harrigan as an example that everyone knows, but I'm thinking also because Delphine is here and she can also play beat cop and just do this thing. And I mean, like, in testing, too, we find it to be very efficient. We can also bump up the translate thing to make it harder, because then, like, it's one of those things where you're going to have to go in hard on it, so you're going to want to find search effects to get enemies. Like, well, we have a lot of knobs that we can still tweak, but I do think it is a very strong level 0 weapon, but it is just the 32 Colt that takes up 2 hand slots, so. All right.
I'm not sure if this is the one I want to go with, but this seems to be an okay front runner for now.
Sure.
You just zoom in on the tip.
Yep.
It at least looks like some kind of cool spear that is being used rather than wood and metal in a void.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, we can start there. Alright, so we want to do 2 Guardians and 1 Mystic, right?
Yep.
Okay.
This will eat into the Mystic budget a little bit.
Alright. I mean, let's start with the Mystic one.
Yeah, I think that's That's fine to use that art. I'm not finding much better at the moment.
Yeah. I could do some poking too. Ancient spear.
Also, you don't need to remake it 3 times. You can just like copy the file 3 times and then tweak that.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that for the Guardian one. I just like I like the fresh starts sometimes.
Fair enough.
Because then I can like copy paste some text over. Stupid researched. Alright, I think we should aim to these to be 4 XP.
4 XP for a weapon seems good.
Yeah, Blessed Blade, Ancient Spear, right?
Yeah, we do have the Laudanum at level 4 right now.
Yep.
But that can be adjusted if need be.
A kid screaming outside. I'm just going to assume it's all good.
Just kids hollering.
Yep. What the hell? Oh, I copied the wrong one over. All right, you. I need you. Here. There we go. Okay. So what are some cool things we can do with a spear?
Let's see.
Throw it, thrust it, bop it.
And you can use it with a shield, as shown with the art there, so maybe
Yep.
one could be more defensive.
What's it? We can pole vault with it. Move 2 locations. Boing.
So I've got 3 in mind right now. There's Gabolg, which was mentioned earlier. I think that should be the mystic one.
Sure.
Because there's almost sort of a mysticism about, like, combat in a lot of Celtic myths. There's Tonbukiri, which was one of the legendary spears, which could supposedly cut a dragonfly in half.
Oh, that's cool. How do Mystics without access to Guardian 0 get this card? Yeah, they can't. If they do not have Guardian 0, they cannot play that version.
Well, you can versatile it.
You can versatile it. Exactly that. Alright, I feel like this one's going to be two-handed. I do like the idea of one of them going to one-handed.
That could be the third one I had in mind, the Spear of Achilles.
Okay, yeah.
Because the Greek-style ones were meant to be fought with, like, spear and shield.
We probably don't want to have the horror thing scale. I mean, it would be cool to have that be like the scaling system, but it takes up a lot of space on the card. So I imagine we want to do something else with it.
Yeah, we don't have to have the if this attack defeats an enemy, that can just be on the level 0.
Yeah, that's just how you, like, empower the spear.
Definitely, at the very least, you want some kind of a skill boost for this one.
Yes.
Like,
+2, I think, is the normal rate that has on this one for 4 XP.
Yeah. 4 XP, yeah.
Yeah. This attack.
Maybe like when you initiate the attack, you can exhaust it to move a doom onto the enemy you're attacking.
Oh, interesting.
Can't be from the agenda, of course, but a doom from your location to that enemy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to so this attack I get +2 skill value. How would you phrase this for this attack deals +1 damage? Because Brandon Kathica is a bit different. This attack skill value. Would it just be a separate like this attack deals +1 damage?
Yeah, you'd have to separate it because it's 3 things instead of 2.
You initiate this attack. To move a doom from a card at your location to the enemy you are attacking.
From a non-elite card at your location, just so we're covering that base. You can probably shorten that to the chosen enemy.
To the chosen enemy, perfect. Deals +1 damage when you initiate this attack. You may exhaust Ancient Spirit to move a doom from a non-elite card location to the chosen enemy. I mean, that is pretty hype.
Yeah. It's a pretty powerful weapon.
I think also the cost could probably go down as well. Because Blessed Blade... the only reason I'm saying that, everyone, is because Blessed Blade 2 costs 3. And it's only one-handed.
And it's a reliable +2 skill +1 damage.
Yeah.
Blessed Blade 4 is kind of nuts.
It's kind of a nuts card. Attack.
Honestly, I feel better about keeping it at 4.
Yep, that's fair.
Even if they didn't balance Blessed Blade properly, this will be.
Okay, I'm just, I have something cooking in my brain, and I'm just, like, letting it try to see if it's anything.
Should we make all versions of Ancient Spear unique?
Yeah, probably. Don't want Spear Squad running around, everyone with their own ancient spear.
Sometimes it's merited, sometimes it's not. I remember when me and my friends wanted to do our blind run of Scarlet Keys, we're like, oh, let's all use the Shotcaster. Oh, never mind, it's unique.
Perfect. All right, I know this is getting over the top, but now I'm like, now I want to make a rogue one that I may use foot instead of fist for this attack.
Hey, we could.
Maxwell can play it. I mean, we might as well design them, right? It's fun, right? If they can do the things like that. I mean, I also do like what Dice God's saying. Like, everyone could dress up like barbarians and bring spears. It does seem like a fun build to do.
I mean, if we're going to make, like, one of every class except Seeker, then that's fine. Everybody gets one except for Seeker.
Except for you, punk. Can any who's our Moose can't do the upgraded version. He'd have to do it through Versatile, right?
Yeah. So let's just do the 3 because I mean, most upgrade cards comes in sets of 3 either. Anyway.
Yeah. I do kind of like. Let's start. I mean, like, the problem is these are unique. But like, what if we don't make it unique? Okay, hear me out. And we go like, can we do like limit 1 gay Balg spear and play? Can we do that?
I mean, if it's a level 4 and we're making each of these 3 a different class, I don't think we need to worry about that. I don't think anyone's going to have access to all 4 of them.
And if so,
Or
yeah, if someone wants to, they could just do it. We could just like let them do it. Good job, Maxwell and Delphine. You're all getting a little boost today.
I kind of want to do other upgrades for these cards later, or for other cards.
Like a research cycle, yeah, for all.
We're not even just researched, but like.
Oh, I think we should. I feel like, so what's really cool about our deck building that you cooked up for these guys all the way back with Delphine is I think it's incredibly open with what you can do with it from a design side of things.
It is true.
I think it's just really cool. So what I was thinking when I was stewing something in my head was that this is it was like this attack deals +2 damage against enemies with Doom on them, but then it was like it wouldn't deal the damage on its own, and then like no one would play it. But
yeah,
I like this. I think this is still a powerful effect. Like you can just basically it's enemy removal and Doom like management, so that's pretty sick.
Yeah, and just a reliable weapon in high-level Seeker, or high-level Mystic. So, someone like, well, anybody with a decent amount of brain would love to use it. So I'd say we make the Japanese one into the rogue weapon.
Sure.
And then
what's the
Guardian
name for that one?
I think I said it to you.
I guess also I should do the symbols, huh? What if it's like, for the Mystic one, it's like brain, fist.
Yeah, that's good. And then since we substitute foot for the rogue one, that can be
fist, foot.
Yeah, fist, foot. I always have to remember the order.
Inspired by the hoplites. When you have it equipped, every time another investigator location is attacked, you can do a fight check to reduce the damage to them by 1. Yeah, and that is pretty sick. There's a lot of good flavor.
Going to do the Spear of Achilles for Guardian anyway, so that would fit.
Do we want to do? Which one is going to go down to 1 hand?
Well, the one that was 1 hand, I originally thought would be the Spear of Achilles one.
Okay, we'll save that for that one. The Guardians then.
Guardians already have a hard enough time getting more hand slots.
And the Guardians, the Guardians also have like the their melee weapons are just good, you know? So like I like that more than the rogues having a better melee weapon.
Yeah.
All right, what should the rogue effect be?
Hey, this is actually pretty good with skids, and you can get the level 0.
Yep, very good with skids. We love skids, don't we, folks?
And this is also designed with Maxwell in mind, so maybe a succeed by effect.
Yeah.
It should be like really up there, like if you succeed by like 3 or 4 or more, or something like that, then you get some really good effect.
What if you like just trip the enemy?
Lou Boo, do not pursue. I mean, the Mystic one had an exhaust effect, so maybe we do an exhaust one for this as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, when you initiate this attack, you may exhaust Ancient Spear to
I mean, it also could still be if you succeed by 4 or more. Exhaust Ancient Spear. It could be like that. It could be the same sort of thing, just with like a different trigger. So this is like an easy trip thing. I'm open for more things too, but that's like an easy trip.
Oh, don't forget researched on this one.
Thank you, yes.
I mean, what
So
about
what's
exhausting?
Sorry?
I was going to say, what about just like exhausting to ignore aloof?
Yeah. Okay. What's the lore behind Tombokiri?
The gist of it was just that it's like one of the 3 holy spears forged by some famous Japanese swordsmith or bladesmith in general, and that was so sharp it could cut a dragonfly in half. Just that lands on it.
Oh, okay, okay.
But super sharp just means more damage. I don't think we just want to load the damage on this one.
No, I agree. But like the whole like flavor of like, I mean, I know like just the dragonfly landing on it doesn't have to do with like the precision of the weapon, but that's what it makes me feel like. This is a very precise weapon, you know?
I don't know. Maybe like you may exhaust it to ignore text on an enemy that you're attacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost like a pseudo mind wipe, where like just for the duration of this attack, it treat the attacked enemy's text box as a blank.
I do kind of like that.
And that wouldn't have to be succeed by 4 or more, just exhaust.
The only thing is that it feels like a mystic effect. That does feel like a mystic effect.
It does. Maybe just you may exhaust to ignore all keywords on the attacked enemy, so it's ignoring aloof, retaliate, and elusive.
Yeah. Retaliate.
Because if elusive is going to be an evergreen term, then we definitely want to deal with that.
Are you able to attack the enemy with aloof with this?
I think as written, no, but they kind of ruled it works that way for Spectral Razor. Because you remember how that works?
Yeah.
Because like you initiate the fight action, but then says you may engage it.
I mean, what if we kind of just do this? You may exhaust full name. I was going to say before you initiate this attack, but then that's also a problem. But I guess if you just follow Spectral Razor's wordings. Initiate attack, you may exhaust before you initiate this attack. It's the same wording on that one. Immediately before this attack, you may engage the attacked enemy.
Maybe we just cut aloof out of this, but then again, just ignoring retaliate and elusive doesn't seem like enough benefit. Because there's tons of aloof enemies, but retaliate and elusive, not as much.
Yeah. I like the before you initiate this attack thing. I think that's a nice through line between them.
I think the intent at least comes across, and this is a custom card anyway, so people aren't going to be flipping through rule books to say, actually.
Yeah. Research fight. You may use foot instead of fist for this attack. You get +2 skill. This attack deals +1 damage. Before you initiate this attack, you may exhaust Ancient Spear. Could just blanket say ignore all keywords for this attack? Yeah.
Yeah, ignore all keywords for this attack.
Oh, sorry. This is when you initiate this attack. I mean, let's just see.
We now have the space there to put reminder text or explanation text about aloof.
Yeah, I'm just seeing. Oh!
Forced is not a keyword.
This attack may target aloof enemies.
Yeah, I think so. And all forced effects would still trigger normally. Keywords are only the ones that are just like a single word in a period. I mean, I guess you could ignore massive, but you're still engaged with it.
I guess the question is now, is that enough of a thing, you know? Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. Here, I'm going to bounce off this, because I think the aloof thing is the interesting thing, right? I think we both agree on that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, conceal is a keyword that might cause problems in scout keys. So again, a lot of things cause problems with conceal.
What if we just do that? This is the exact wording from Spectral Razor.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately before you initiate this attack, you may exhaust full name to engage the attacked enemy. Just give it Spectral Razor text.
That works.
I think that does it, right? That's the aloof thing, so I think that's good.
And then you're engaged with it if you want to do other rogue things after that.
Yep. Yeah, okay, I think that works. All right. Yeah, and a reusable Spectral Razor isn't bad. I mean, even if you're not using it on aloof enemies, but you're just grabbing stuff from your opponent, you're saving an action, right? Oh, your teammates, sorry, your teammate. They're your teammates, not your opponents. Whew, close one there.
You've been playing with Travis too much.
Yep. All right, let's copy this, and let us do our Guardian version. Survivors like watching from the outside. They're like, "Can I play too?" No.
No, go run some layups.
So this is Spear of Achilles.
Yep, Spear of Achilles, and this is the one we wanted to
be one-handed.
One hand.
Yep. And then this is going to be willpower, combat. I think back to willpower still because of Yvette.
Yep. And does it need another effect since we made it lose a hand slot?
I mean, probably. I like someone saying, like, the kind of the hoplite vibe.
Yeah. Is there anything we can do to tie it into her healing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, in an easy way, right? Just like when you initiate, heal damage if you defeat an enemy. You take the horror for them.
Just as like an additional exhaust effect rather than as part of the fight effect.
Yeah, I mean, it could still be on there, right? If you defeat the enemy, heal the horror. This is Blessed Blade without the Bless, so we need to do something more for it, I think.
Maybe it's like when an enemy at your location attacks.
Attacks. Exhaust. Attack deals 1 less damage.
Yeah, kind of rolling in the Armor of the Ardennes into it.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine because the main benefit is just going down to one hand. Unless you're planning around being attacked plenty, which gives it a different niche, but still good.
Did we want... So we don't have that limit now, but now do we want to consider that limit? Because if you have 2 of these in play... I mean, it doesn't like neutralize the damage, right?
Yeah, I'd say research to limit 1 per deck. Or limit 1 in play.
Yeah. 1... But then we can't do Spear Squad. One per investigator in play. Per investigator.
I mean, I guess that could be on all of them if you want.
Yeah, is limit per player or is limit otherwise noted? What's the default?
I think limit is per player because otherwise it'd say group limit.
So limit 1 in play. That would work. Yeah, let's look up limit.
I know there's cards that do it. Yeah, it's just limit 1 per investigator.
1 per investigator?
Yep.
Oh, that's all the others. Had a spear-related thought. The investigator's an empty hand slot is wielded two-handed. I mean, that actually sounds very similar to, like, the rogue firearm that's probably not going to make the cut that we have. All right, well, Chad, we weren't able to do the cool put into the ground ideas and all that, but it's mostly because research takes up a bunch of stuff and it still also has to fight.
And I think sticking into the ground kind of is already taken up by pitchfork anyway.
Yeah. But I do love the idea of like a buff, it's like in a MOBA where someone drops like a banner and then everyone around that banner gets like faster attack speed.
I mean, we could just do a banner asset as an upgrade card.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Or a flag.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a good set.
Yeah, pretty simple stuff. Yeah, so Marion can get the Bandolier, unlock the research, then get the one-handed card and remove Bandolier. Exactly that. This probably wants the traits, huh?
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
Okay. All right, well, I'm down to do one more card if you are.
Sure.
How about we do that Doom event in Guardian? Try to just get. We should try to get 2 more events, because then we can like just have the Guardian like level 0 done, at least in like the first pass. Then we can like look at the stoplights in the future.
And let's just see if we can bang them out real quick.
Yeah, I agree.
So one of them is a Doom one, definitely.
Yep. And then another one, I guess, is what do we feel like a Guardian is kind of like missing?
Or missing in relation to what Yvette does.
Yep.
And you could also add another bold card for that mini archetype.
Yep. I kind of want to like call this card like Nodin's Protection, or like Hypnos's Protection, or like Bast's Protection, because I think those are the 3 gods they use a lot.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it has to have a name drop to one of them, right? Maybe we can find a different word than protection that drops the same vibe.
Yeah, this is a really good piece to use for it.
Oh, nice, yeah. Okay, I got a new name. It might be a bit of a mouthful, but I kind of like it. Let me get the picture in. Come on down, Bast.
I always love that one, like, it's like natural formations or degradation forms something.
Yeah.
And it's just like the subtle influence of something else. That's a good name for it.
And then I think if we have flavor text, we should put something like about that, like like shapes in the crack of the ceiling. Like, I like that, like referring to that. Okay. So what? I mean, it's gonna have something related to Doom and obviously protection. That's kind of, or like some sort of like boost that comes with it. Let's get up Karamot again, because that's kind of what we need to do. So after Doom is placed on a card of your location, exhaust it, and investigate location heals 1 damage or horror.
So we want this to be placing Doom.
Yes.
Maybe it's like a short-term thing, like it places Doom, but after a certain thing is accomplished, then it removes the Doom.
Andrew, okay. I like that. Okay, okay, hear me out. Alright, give me a second. I don't know the numbers yet, but this is what I'm putting here. Something like this could be a good starting point.
That wouldn't get rid of the Doom, though.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I guess the Doom was supposed to be on this card in my other head, but you are right. It should be like remove.
That'd be nuts in the Forgotten Age.
Forgotten Age, yeah. All right. Also, let's just go a little on this, where X is the amount of Doom on attached location. Why not go for the, like, reach for the stars?
Yeah, just live that Christmas dream. It's just like, I'm bringing this to Doom of Estely, and we're getting Zero Shroud on, on the, like, 4 or 5 Shroud location in there.
Yeah, I mean, you put on the last location. Woo!
Oh, and remove all Doom from this location and discard.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that seems pretty fine, right?
Let's see. Should definitely have the boon trait.
Yep.
But it should be blessed, cursed, both.
That seems Mystic to me. Yeah, I mean, Mystic is the Doom class, but I think in order to make Doom viable, considering we have another card that cares about Doom in this in our Guardians, we need to make it outside of that class and trying to find ways that Guardians are able to do that. And that was something that Beard and I were actually talking about at the start of this. Sorry, what was the... You said Boon, and what was another trait you said?
I was just debating, should it be blessed, cursed, both?
I think both. It's a bad... These are fickle gods, right?
Especially a cat god.
Yep. I think 0 cost again because of Doom. Also, this card is pretty comparable to Matchbox. And this is like a full support card as well.
Yeah. Let's give it a foot icon.
Yes, why not? It's a cat.
Like, at the very least, I think I'm comfortable putting this in yellow, as is.
Yep. But I don't know how we make a Guardian. It puts a Blessed token in the bag.
I mean...
I'm trying to find out where to put it, because Karabat does, I feel like this should too. I don't know if we can because it's already pretty tight on text, but...
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could, like, add it as part of the discard effect. You get blesses after it's cleared.
Yeah. What if it was like... what if Bass Watchful Eye didn't discard?
Unless you could do, like, clue drop shenanigans and do it multiple times.
What if it was something like this? Because then is it a problem if it sticks around?
I don't think so, because you'd have to be playing around it.
Yeah, you need to add more Doom, right?
Yeah. Or you just take it to a scenario that refills clues on something.
Yeah. But because it's tied to the Doom, then it doesn't actually like do anything if you keep triggering this, right?
Yeah.
And add.
I mean, since it's already scrunched, you could also just put discard at the very end of that.
Yeah, it's not going to do another line break. It did another line break.
How could they?
Or no, I mean, it's not that bad.
Yeah, just sort of squished it a bit, but not by much. I think it's fine as is.
Yeah. Place one Doom on your location, attach Bass Watchful Eye to it. Attached location gets minus X Shroud or X the amount of Doom on attached location. When the last is discovered from attached location, remove all Doom for this location and add that many Bliss so it gets the Chaos Bag. Yeah, now it's a Guardian card!
I think we should remove the cursed trait.
I agree. I was thinking the same thing.
Just keep it blessed. It's like they're fickle, but they're not cursing you. They're just
and there still is the flavor for the Doom. I actually think that's a very fitting thing for any of these guys. So then what we should also do in Survivor, the Doom card should also reference Bast, I think. So we have like a running theme throughout it.
We could do that one next instead of another Guardian card.
I mean, let's do both of them. Why not?
Okay, we're in for the long haul.
Yeah.
Let's see what else I got for cats.
I'm going to give a yellow to Bass Watchful Eye right now. I think it's good, but we can still just see how it is over time. But I do really like it.
Okay.
I think it's a cool-ass card.
So Guardian next or cat card next?
Let's stick on the cat card. I mean, I guess we should follow through with Survivor having some blessed cards too, because we can kind of play, like Yvette can kind of explore it, but not like payoff, but just like incidental bless, you know, kind of what we've been doing already.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty nice. Because Delphine, she can run this. I mean, that's actually a really good connection between them, right? Her and Yvette.
Oh, that is true.
That's actually kind of neat.
Also, maybe you want to swap this art in for the Guardian one and use that one for the Survivor one, because it kind of has more of a Survivory feel to it. And this one actually looks like an eye.
Sounds good. Let me just copy and paste this one over. What is this thing I called Guardian Event? Oh, Traditional Remedy. And then this one is Bast's Watchful Eye. Okay. Copy this. Paste this.
Don't worry, people in the audience. We will use this art. We just
it's gonna be on a Survivor card. I mean, this one is still sick. All right, so this one's Bast's Watchful Eye. There we go.
And honestly,
I mean, in all actuality, this original card we've done could fit in the Survivor class.
True, it could.
That's kind of fricked. I mean, it could. It looks good in the Survivor frame.
It does.
Okay, but what if it's just this one in the Survivor class?
But I think the Watchful Eye matches the other art, so maybe you can just turn the old one into a Survivor one.
Yeah.
Like, let me also see that other art if you shift down to see like the whole lens. Yeah, something like that. Maybe shift it back up slightly.
Yeah, just get like the top of the lens there.
Because that seems like a watchful eye.
Yeah.
Do you want best watchful eye to be a survivor card?
Well, I mean, I think this, the minus Shroud fits like Survivor better than Guardian a bit, right? Because Guardian has Breach the Door, which does fit, right?
True.
But like that has the fight to it. The minus X Shroud is just generally Survivor, so maybe it's better here. But
All
we
right,
can just change the name of this one, right?
Well, I mean, go back to the other one.
Yeah.
Make that one a survivor card here.
And put the Guardian, put this art back on the Guardian card?
Yeah, and we'll come up with something else for the Guardian one.
Sure. Okay. Do-do-do-do. Yeah, I agree with you, Dice Gods. That's kind of like the vibe. Once we put the card there, the text was there, the like all the things. I was like, nah, this seems better here than in the Guardian one. Like, I think there's a reason for this to be in Guardian, but I feel like there's a bigger reason for the other one to be in Survivor, right? So it just feels nicer. Okay,
A little bit.
The artist for this one again. Okay. All right, well, this one's good then. This is how it is. This is here. Everyone's happy.
And we scrap all the text on the Guardian one and start over.
Okay, and then I gotta rename this to Bast Doom. And then this one's going to be renamed to... And then I have to remove the color from that, because this is now a whole new card. Bast.
Past from the past.
You thought you were done with me? Okay, I have an idea to start. What's
maybe
yours?
Something that that scales with the amount of damage and horror on you.
Yep.
Those like survivors get best watchful eye, and this is like best's. I don't know, protection, but something better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is like Spirit of Humanity, which is but we also want a Doom interaction with this one, right?
Yeah. What's that one card? You attach it to yourself and you have to pay 2, but it blocks damage. What's that card called?
Delay the Inevitable.
Thank you.
I mean, rather than being something that sticks around, this could just be like place one Doom on a card at your location to heal a bunch.
Yeah. looking at the delay the inevitable. Yeah, it's that new skill that came out in the Hemlock Vale that wasn't great.
Which one?
The one that adds damage, that adds blesses depending on the damage or horror on you. I'm just taking this as like a version of Delay the Inevitable just to start. Because I do like the protection thing.
Also, we're not on the third Guardian card yet, but this could be a art to use for it.
Oh, hell yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, but this is actually the new wording they have for damage and or horror, right? That's a nightmare. So this is pretty much a 1-for-1 from Delay the Inevitable. But just with Doom instead. Notably very good with Karamat.
Well, that's good.
Because you play this at the right time, this can just like heal you a bunch of horror and then cancel a bunch. Maybe it should come into play with a Doom on it.
Yeah, to mirror the initial cost.
Yeah.
I guess we could just call the card Protection of Bast.
Yeah. This one Doom.
Honestly, I like it as an alternative that you can play around.
Okay. No! Too tiny.
Is Delay the Inevitable fast or not?
It is. I think this can be fine. I think this can be fine without it because it's like literally free, right? Like, yeah, you're placing the Doom, but you're gonna like not worry about that.
Yeah, if you're gaming it.
Yeah.
And
I also feel like I want to nerf it slightly to be just damage or horror, but then buff it slightly.
okay, you get the bless interaction there.
Yeah.
Slap a will token on that bad boy, and or maybe will combat just to represent the damage part.
Yeah, I like it.
We'll call that another yellow.
Test and investigate location under their control. When you're dealt damage or horror, discard protection of Bast and cancel all damage or horror just dealt. Add 1 blessed token to the chaos bag. And you must either place 1 doom or protection Bast or discard it. I don't think it's crazy to make this 2 blessed tokens. I mean, this is a pretty good healing card with Karamat. I actually think I really like it.
Had some good interplay there. Push it as long as you can.
I dig it. All right, now we have this one that you have the art for. I forgot we had to do one more.
Well, we'll try and speedrun it.
Oh, that's okay. I'm having a good time.
Just go based on vibes.
Yeah. Okay. So this one is Protection of Bast. Let me just... Nice. Guardian event, baby. Okay, what if we make another bold card like the stare down like you mentioned?
Sure. I just looked, there is no card labeled Reconnaissance, so that's a good one to call this one.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, stare down actually also works well with that Bast protection. You draw an enemy that doesn't deal you damage, but you don't have to worry about it. You can get a free use out of it. You can evade the enemy, stare him down, and then just like get that doom off of it, and then get that doom back on it next turn.
Yeah, we're building some solid Doom Guardian interaction here.
All right. Well, this sounds like a tactic bold to me.
Sure does.
All right. So we should do the same sort of thing.
Play only as your first action for sure.
Yeah, or the same sort of benefit if this is your first action. I like that thing that we have here. Oh. Okay, I have an idea. I'm going off vibes, okay? Like you said.
Thought too, but let's hear what you've got.
Honestly, just give me this whole card.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Just as a sort of mirror of that.
Successful. Okay. No. I was going to say discard any number of them, but that probably is too strong to get rid of weaknesses. But I like the idea of this, right?
What about the encounter deck instead of your deck?
Top 3 card. Gloria Goldberg's calling.
We're giving her some looky-loo.
Discard one of the card of the. We'll find out the and return the rest in any order.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. What was your idea? Just because it might be work for something else.
Oh, it was basically as your first action, move into a location and then do something.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I'd love to explore this kind of on the experience side too.
True.
The counter deck. You may discard one of the cards this way. I guess let's not even make it optional. You have to. Cards.
Oh, not the Gug. We're waiting for him.
This way, return the rest in any order. I dig it. I dig it. And probably still one like the other one, right?
Yeah, it costs 1 and
Brain book.
Brain Book, yeah.
Wow, they once again they designed themselves.
That's the beauty of cycles.
Also really good. I mean, like less good than Stare Down with Yvette, but also just like still good with Yvette.
How about, I don't know, adding foot instead of will? But I was going to say most Guardians don't have good foot.
That is true. Foot does sound nice for this though.
Yeah.
But I feel like the brain is better in the long term.
Because, like, I guess being quiet and careful with will is what they did for Dark Side of the Moon.
That is true. Unfortunately, I wish that foot was a bit more open. Like that, I agree.
And maybe a quote to match the other one?
Yeah, sure. Choose your next location very carefully. I guess also now, while you're thinking of the quote, this is the change. We could probably make Karamata green now, right?
What?
A green light, because we got the.
Oh, yes. I thought you were going to say, like, what do you mean green? Like, make it a road car?
Yeah, make it a road car.
But yeah, I think we can lock that in now that we've got other support for it.
Cool. And then I'm just going to do conservative protection of Bast and Ancient Spear is yellow. We'll just take some time. And I feel like Webley Tranquilizer Gun might not make the cut now. I don't think it fits with other stuff, but
yeah.
But we can worry about that in the future. I love this traditional remedy as well.
Yeah, the delayed effect is kind of not quite a cycle, but it's something we can definitely play with in this set.
Yep.
And where else are you going to see science and spirit together?
Exactly, right? So then with all these cards here, we have 22 of our Guardian cards.
It's good. It gives us a lot of wiggle room going up into the XP cards.
And then I'll quickly also make I'll make the spreadsheet. Then I'll share it with you and make it editable as well. Because we can even add like notes to it.
And if I can't help myself, I'll probably tinker with a few more cards in the next few days.
I'll try to think of some stuff too. I just turn my brain off afterwards. I'm just like, goop. But
yeah, like I know you mentioned wanting to make like a stage manager ally or something like that, and I wanted to leave that one to you because it was your idea.
Sure. Yeah, maybe I'll do some poking. All right, any ideas for flavor text?
Let's see.
Better than mine. Choose your next location very carefully.
Maybe something like this.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. Okay, well, that was a pretty good... here, what I'll just do is I'm going to pull up the cards we did today. Okay, grab the Ancient Spears. I feel like our rogue should probably have, for the count, one or more asset than the events, just because of Maxwell's whole synergy.
Right.
Also works really well with having the 3 of. So we got conservative. I can rename this one. You. Then we got... I think that's all the ones we've done today. I mean, we did a lot.
We did. I think it was like 8 or 9 cards we banged out.
Yeah, 9. So the Ancient Spear, you may use Brain instead of Fist for this attack and deal +1 damage. If this attack defeats an enemy, place 1 horror on Ancient Spear. As an action, if there's 4 or more, you've learned the Spear's origin. Spear of Achilles, 1 hand slot, +2 skill value, +1, still +1 damage. When an enemy at location attacks you and exhausted, that attack deals 1 less damage. I mean, that's a powerful ability to have on a weapon, so that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
This one also feels the sword and shield more, the spear and shield. This one is, this attack does +1 damage. When you initiate this attack, you may exhaust it to move a doom from a non-elite card at your location to the chosen enemy. Also, I just love this whole like designing into these other classes.
Yeah, that was a nice shift there. I forgot what inspired that, but
I think it's because the spear in the ground banner like thing idea was like we were like that feels more mystic, and then we were like, but what if?
Go crazy.
I like
with
the gauge on that one. Like I think these are strong weapons, but they're not like crazy strong.
Yeah, they're within the bounds of reason.
Yeah. I think Guardian is the strongest, but that's okay because they also have Bliss Blade already. Conservative, where you can choose an item as you control. If it's successful, return to the chosen asset to your hand. I think that's a nice one. After sitting with it for a bit, it's still yellow right now, but I think it is pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where we know when it's a green. Event Protection of Bass attached to a location under the control. Place 1 doom on Protection of Bass as a reaction when you're dealt damage or horror. Discard it and cancel all damage or horror just dealt. We add 2 blessed tokens to the Chaos Bag. When the middle phase ends, you must either place 1 doom on Protection of Bass or discard it. And what I like about this card is that, like, yeah, you can play it right before the doom is about to advance to get that, but like, it's kind of baked in where if you do, but you don't use it, you actually still also get 1 doom next turn, or you lose out on the blessed tokens, right?
Right.
I think it's a very interesting thing. And I think 2 blessed tokens for like an action is okay when it also comes with a doom.
Yeah, there's definitely ways to game it.
Yeah. Yeah. Reconnaissance, which is Reconnaissance was the one we just saw here. This is the one that allows you to investigate, add your brain, and then get a bonus if it's bold, which I think is really cool.
It's good.
Traditional Remedy, which I think is my favorite of the day. So just a fun card. I think there's a lot of cool things that you can trigger with it.
Yeah, because 1 card you can get like 2 once per round things out of it, not just with Yvette's ability.
Yep. And I love it with like Vincent Lee. You use it, give someone the skill, first watch them attest to use it on, then they can get another one of the on the mends.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. And then our Survivor one here, which I think is really neat as well. And then we're done with the Doom. We don't need to add more. I don't think we need more Doom and Survivor. The only reason we're adding like the extra bit in, I mean, I guess there really only is the protection of Bast for Doom here, huh?
Just about, yeah.
But it's multiple, which makes it feel like there's more of it.
And we can add some big Doom payoff higher up the mystic tree.
Yep. Sweet. I also want to quickly just take a peek at these the channeled stuff that we did last time as well.
I guess it feels like we did a lot more just because we were also reviewing at the start.
Yes, yeah. What's your book value to skill value for this investigation? Yeah, the hatred is the fight one. And then the treachery is the evade one. I like these cards a lot. After spending some time with them.
Yeah, it's also a good trio set.
Yep. Awesome.
There's a lot of flavor in this set about just invoking power from higher beings.
Yep. And then there's the rogue one, which is always all this stuff, and then the rogue's like, I'm stealing alcohol. And then the survivor one is just like, I'm playing football. It's great. It's funny. Okay. Well.
Yeah. Good day's work.
Hell yeah.